everybody, I'm Trixie. Today I'd like to talk about the first book of Harry Potter. It's called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. In fact, I don't even know if it's the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, but we're just going to go with Philosopher's Stone today. Anyway, who cares? But, well, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone starts out with just Harry having a really bad life with his aunt and uncle, which he's been raised by his aunt and uncle because his mother and father have died because they have been murdered by this bad guy. His name is Voldemort, but really nobody likes to say his name, so everybody in the whole world calls him He Who Must Not Be Named, except for Dumbledore, but we'll get to him later. Harry Potter gets this letter. So Harry never gets letters, okay? So his aunt and uncle think this is the weird thing, and they know who it's from because it says on it that is from Hogwarts. Hogwarts is a school of witchcraft and wizardry, which Harry knows nothing about what his aunt and uncle do because Harry's mother and father are witches and is a witch and wizard. So they move. So Harry's aunt and uncle move him and his cousin Dudley, who's this big chunky guy, and so they move over to a deserted island kind of thing with this old reeky shack, thinking they'll never find us here. So, but then this huge man comes busting down the door and giving Harry his letter, telling them that he was a wizard and gave Dudley a pigtail, which I thought was awesome because, you know, well, Dudley's kind of a bully, but it was still really funny. Side note, it's Harry's birthday today, in the book. And so Harry Potter has just been blown away by this new news that he is a wizard. So then Harry goes with Hagrid to get all his stuff. His wand, all his books, and all that stuff that he needs in order to go to his school. And so once they get to his school, Harry, actually before we get to the part where he gets at school, they go on the train, choo-choo, and on this train he meets a boy who has blonde hair and he's super pale, almost looks like a vampire. So his name is Draco Malfoy. Now Draco Malfoy eventually turns into the bad guy and a bully and a weirdo, which he never finds out until the very last book. So then, once they get to the part where they get to Hogwarts, then they all get sorted into houses. And the houses in Harry Potter are Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. And Harry gets sorted into Gryffindor along with his new friend Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley. And Malfoy and his friends Crabbe and Goyle get sorted into Slytherin. And also Slytherin is like, so all the bad guys in this book and the next book and the next book and the next book and so on, and so are just about all from Slytherin. So if it's a Death Eater, from Slytherin. But so then Harry Potter is at his new school, and he's officially a wizard. He's got all these new cool friends, and he's having a great time. But then they took a wrong turn in this huge castle, which is their school. And so then they took a wrong turn and went into this new room that they've never been in before, which was officially off limits. and there was this humongous 3-headed dog in there. And they're angry. Excuse my drawing, which is terrible. Anyway, but this 3-headed dog is in there, and they're all freaked out because this dog is trying to eat them. So they run out of this room, thinking, "What in the world is going on here?" And Ron's all like, "What in the world were they putting that thing in this school? There's kids in here." And so then Hermione saw that there was a trap door underneath the dog, and so the trap door they had figured out has the Philosopher's Stone in it. And this stone has the ability to make a person immortal. Woo woo. And so he must not be named / Voldemort wants to get this thing so he can become immortal, which would be real bad. So he tries to get in, and Harry Potter tries to stop him, and all this thing is happening, and they're both breaking, and Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron are all breaking like at least a million, trillion, gazillion, billion rules. So then they're breaking all these rules. They're trying to stop the bad guy from getting the stone, and what happens? Their defense against the dark arts teacher turns out to be the bad guy, and he's in there trying to stop them from getting the stone. And there's this mirror called the Mirror of Erase, or something like that. And so then what they do is, Dumbledore, the headmaster of the school, he puts the Philosopher's Stone inside the mirror. Now, he knows, and the defense against the dark arts teacher, Quirrell, knows this too, and is trying to get the mirror. And he doesn't know how to get it though. He's like, do I have to break it? Do I have to say something? Is there a riddle? But he doesn't know. But Harry Potter knows what to do because he's seen this mirror before. And the mirror, what a mirror actually does is it takes everything that you really want, and it takes the thing that you want the most, and it puts that thing onto the mirror. But only the person who really wants that thing can see it. Now, at first, what that was his parents. He really wants his parents. So then this thing now is changed into something else. And what he really wants is to get the stone away from Quirrell, to keep it safe. So then it's in his pocket. The Philosopher's Stone is in his pocket. And so the Philosopher's Stone is now in his pocket, and now Quirrell knows this too, that he has the stone, and they're all fighting to get the stone. And eventually, Quirrell goes over and grabs Harry Potter's arm. But since his mother, Harry Potter's mother, had died for him to save his life, so then she cast the deepest, most ancient kind of magic. He could not touch him. So Quirrell grabs his arm and starts to die, literally. He's melting away. And so then, once he's gone, Quirrell, Harry Potter suddenly faints. And then, Dumbledore to the rescue. Dumbledore comes over, saves him, takes him to the hospital wing. Everybody's happy. Philosopher's Stone has been destroyed, just for good measures. And so everybody's happy. The end. That's the book. But I really like that book. It's a really good book. I think if you haven't read the book, you should. And that's Harry Potter.